All right, good afternoon. Thanks for the opportunity to speak to you a little bit more about Soliton, which is now part of Allergan Aesthetics within AbbVie. Please note some of the comments may be covered by the AbbVie forward-looking statements. I must say it's good to be back with AbbVie. So Soliton Rapid Acoustic Pulse technology is a true breakthrough in acoustic shockwave devices in that it can target cellular level structures that are stiffer than their environment, just like the fiber septa inside of the subcutaneous tissue. And it does so, importantly, without any cavitation, heating, or collateral damage, which is what the IP is really surrounding. It's a platform technology. You'll see that there's two already cleared indications. It's the only non-invasive device that has a long-term indication for cellulite. In the industry, there's been this temporary improvement in cellulite, and there's been hundreds of devices, but there's only one non-invasive device that has a long-term indication with 52-week data. There's also a lot of applications under investigation. So anything, once again, that is stiffer than the environment, and I'll talk to you how that works, but fibrotic scars and other fibrotic disorders, as well as skin laxity, are indications that are under investigation. So the Soliton device uses electrohydraulics. So if you look on your right, the cartridge, it's a consumable. There's two electrodes. Those two electrodes use 9 megawatts of energy to create a spark inside of saline. That creates a plasma bubble. And that bubble collapsing is actually what creates the shock wave. And that shock wave is reflected along that surface that you see highlighted in red into the tissue. So if you're looking at different indications, all you do is change the shape of that reflector design to get to different levels in the tissue. When you look at the individual pulse, so this is using a hydrophone, you can see in purple the rapid acoustic pulse versus the radial pulse wave, which is the Z-Wave device, which is similar to other pneumatic shockwave devices that are out on the market. You can see three clear, distinct differences. First off, the high peak pressure. So the rapid acoustic pulse goes up to 12 megapascals of pressure. That's 1,500 pounds per square inch, so extremely high pressures. That's about 10x the other devices, and that's what allows for that physical effect on those stiffer tissues. Secondly is the rapid short pulse duration or pulse width. If you look at that very steep rise and fall time, that's over 5 nanoseconds. That is a sharp edge that allows for that disruption at the cellular level. And then last is the repetition rate. There's 100 pulses per second with the Soliton device, and the other devices are about 5 times less, up to 20 hertz. So all three of those allow that physical effect on the fiber septa that releases the dimple. But in addition, you have these biologic effects. You get new collagen, new elastin, and I'll show you the histology for that. So here you can see a fiber septa in the animal model. You can see that the more doses or shock waves you put into the tissue, the more disruption of the fiber septa you get. So nice time dose response. And then on the left in purple, you can see that there's a marked increase in collagen at day 81. And on the right in the black, you can see a marked increase in elastin as well. This is that wavy type of undulations, type of cellulite on the thighs. We see a nice global improvement as well. So I believe from a procedure standpoint, this is exactly what our consumer wants. A procedure, they can come into the office, there's no prep, there's no anesthesia, there's minimal discomfort during treatment, but most importantly, when they're done, there's slight redness and irritation, but there's no bruising, there's no downtime, and there's no discomfort. They go back immediately to their daily activities. And we've seen time and time again in the space that treatments that have minimal invasiveness and no downtime are ones that are widely adopted by consumers. The pivotal trial, once again, 52-week data showed that there were no unexpected or serious adverse events. It was very well tolerated, pain score of 2.4 out of 10. And in terms of the efficacy endpoints, there were the primary endpoint similar to Cool Sculpting, is the blinded evaluation of before and after photos. 2 or 3 reviewers agreeing. It showed very high, 95.2% at 52 weeks, also high at 12 weeks. Many people will ask, well, what about 3 out of 3 reviewers? That was 88%, which was well above the threshold that the agency set as well. From a secondary endpoint, patient satisfaction, they were gauged by questions that the patient's subjects answered. 100% agreed or strongly agreed that their cellulite appeared improved at 52 weeks, and 97.2% felt like there was, or 6% felt like there was good improvement. The last additional measurement was the cellulite severity score. The bar threshold was a 1 grade improvement, which was achieved both at 12 weeks and 52 weeks. And here you can see a subject with mild or moderate dimpling on the buttocks, but also notice the posterior and lateral thigh. Good improvement in the wavy type of cellulite. Here again, at 12 weeks and 52 weeks, more of the type of cellulite, not distinct dimples, but a global change to the tissue. And here's a patient with deeper depressions on the buttocks that also lifted very nicely at 12 weeks and 52 weeks. So the pivotal trial and everything done to date has been a single procedure. I think we'll find that the more shock waves or doses that you give will give more benefit, and we'll also be looking at multiple treatments. I think the strategic fit with Allergan is that they'll be able to invest faster and greater in optimizing this treatment, as well as expanding indications and doing device modifications that are necessary to make this a commercial success. So I'll end with 2 photos from early field experience. Dr. Janet Allenby down in Boca Raton and Geronimus Bay in Shelton in New York. This is at 3 months post a single treatment. I think you'll see that the results are similar to what we show in the clinical studies. But once again, I'm excited to see what Allergan's going to do with this with further investment and the physician base continuing to explore this. Thank you.